video. Y'all read by the title. Y'all with y'all girl, Precyous B. And y'all read that title. I made a sloppy Joe sandwich today, baby. If you guys would love to know how I did it, what I did, just continue to watch this video. We're gonna get straight into this tutorial, but it's really self-explanatory. You just cook your ground meat and put your sauce in there. So watch me work my magic and, you know, watch me create. Okay, you guys, right now I'm putting my seasoning blend. I don't use cut up onions. You can if you want to, but this is what I do. I stir it up in my little pan a little bit, and then I'm just gonna open up the pack of ground meat, and we're just gonna dive right into it and put it in the pan. I usually would like, you know, seasoning everything out the pan or whatever, but it just depends on what I'm doing when I'm cooking my ground meat. So I'm just gonna season everything. I'm taking onion powder. I usually would put garlic as well in my ground meat, but I didn't have any. I'm taking some black pepper right now. I don't really measure. I kind of already know specifically how I want to season my ground meat. It's to your own preference. And I'm taking also my seasoning. And that's the seasoning that you guys see. I want to say I have Creole seasoning. It just depends on what you like and what kind of spices that you want inside your food. And I'm just going to stir all that up. We're going to get it stirred up in that pan. Just so the seasoning can be cooking thoroughly through everything. You just stir it up. You don't want your ground meat to burn. You don't want to leave your ground meat sitting in one spot for too long. But you don't have to keep turning it around over and over again. You do need to let it cook instead of, like, you know, just stirring it the entire time. Don't stir it the entire time, but just make sure that you're not allowing it to burn. And I'm just gonna keep stirring. And I'm really just trying to mix my onions around in the ground meat because I did put a lot of onions. It just depends on if you even like onions, because you don't have to necessarily put them in your ground meat. And I'm just coming back over it a little bit more seasoning. I didn't taste it or anything. I just usually apply my seasoning and then come back. And now it's kind of pre-cooked a little bit, but you see I still have like little pink pieces in there that is not finished. So right there, I'm just gonna keep stirring because it's not completely finished. Now you see that smoke. You can kind of see that everything is pretty much done. And you see there's a lot of grease. You need to take as much grease out of your pot that you can. Don't talk about me, y'all. I don't have like a grease strainer or anything. So I literally do the dangerous way. Don't do this. I don't recommend it for anybody. You can burn yourself. But I'm just taking it and tilting it over and getting all that grease out of there. I got as much grease as I could as possible. I didn't get every little dripping, but I got majority, at least 99%. I'm using Manwich sloppy Joe mix from the can, and I'm using 2 cans of it as well. Technically, I probably need a little bit more ground meat because 1 can is for 2 pounds, and I was cooking a 3-pound ground meat, but I used 2 cans. But it still was good, and it wasn't like a bad consistency. And you're just gonna stir that Manwich up around in it. I just like to stir everything because, you know, I do have my ground meat already completely cooked. So you need to make sure you stir your sauce around, because you don't want your ground meat to be cooking and sauce is not like literally all the way through it, because now you're trying to cook just your sauce. You don't really need to cook with the ground meat. You're kind of just warming up everything together. I'm just stirring it, and I'm gonna get ready to add my sauces that I put in my sloppy Joe. And right now, that is the consistency that I will be having on top of the hamburger. It also just depends on the consistency that you want. So if you want it to be more ground meat than juice, then you would need to put more ground meat. And if you want more juice than ground meat, then you need to add more sauce. I'm taking some barbecue sauce. Only thing I've measured in this video It's just one item, and that is the sugar. But everything else, I simply just squirt in there because it's just like, you know, you kind of just taste test it and see if you like that flavor. Don't overdo it. That's why you start off small. I'm not pouring a lot. Both of my bottles were kind of empty anyway, but I'm not pouring a lot. I'm just pouring to my liking, because I know that, you know, you don't really need a whole lot because it's already sauce. And if you put too much, you're gonna make the sauce too thin. And I'm just gonna put some more barbecue sauce up in that thing, y'all. I didn't put a whole lot of ketchup. I really wanted that barbecue sauce to take effect. And the ketchup just was to add a little extra in it. And I'm just gonna stir that in just to make sure everything is mixed well together. This is just all about how you choose to do everything, because some people will literally just dump everything in there all at one time. But I just, you know, stir everything up together, and then I'm gonna come back with my sugar. And by the way, I did measure my sugar. That's a 1/4 cup, and I just did 2 cups of 1/4. And just stir that in. You can also put as much sugar as you want to. I don't want my sloppy joe to be extremely sweet, and I don't want to take away from the actual taste of it. So I don't put entirely a lot of other ingredients from the Manwich. And I didn't have any bread, you guys, so I did have to go to the store. Your bread that you choose is really your preference. You can use regular white bread, or you can use buns, and that's exactly what I'm gonna get. I'm gonna get the 8 count of the buns, whatever, and it was only $1.25. And now you guys can just watch me make the sandwich or whatever. Everything is completely finished. Look how good. Like, when I tell y'all, this sandwich was so freaking good. Like, I really enjoyed it. I ate like 4 of them.